Here you are again. Did you have time to think of how to behave during the interrogation? Remind him, R2-D3. You tell us all you know from the beginning. No lie. Confirm? You tell us all from the beginning, or violence. You tell us that you fly to the funeral, but the liner explode radicals of green universe. Confirm? You tell us all from the beginning, or violence. You tell us that you fly to the funeral, but the liner explode radicals of green universe. Confirm? You tell us all from the beginning, or violence. You tell us that you fly to the funeral, but the liner explode radicals of green universe. Confirm? You lied to me. Loga was impossible. Could not see the shuttle from space. Tell truth, no lie. Confirm?
Greetings, I'm your funerary spacesuit's built-in guide to the world of space funerals. Before we start communicating further, confirm that you are still able to read after the impact. Splendid! You've gotten into a non-standard situation. When picking up any use, take out the chewing gum from your pocket. Try not to get your funerary spacesuit sticky while holding the chewing gum in your hand. Stick it somewhere except for your face. You deserve some words of encouragement. That's impressive. You've almost won. Remember that the funerary spacesuit isn't designed for long-term use of persons or animals, and after just the antenna, you'll have to go into outer space. The waste disposal system is damaged and is operating in reverse mode. The toilet can suck objects flying past the shuttle when the tanks are full.
Fascistkim pakalon, Bosi свин соправливной, Загорели запылённи, Пулемётчик птицобой. Билеты делу держу, Кривая рыжего коня, Грива ветра, грива дыма, Грива дюри огня. Это Чанка, Киевянка, Наша гордость и краса. Uljem jokaya tachanka, she chitire kalesab.
A source of increased radiation is detected. Probably this is the central core of the liner. Be careful, the radiation will kill you instantly in such a suit. That was a close call. You've got great engineering skills. You have broken the antenna completely. Now you will need some great news. Using my ingenious 2-digit password matching algorithm, I managed to hack the interphone activation codes. Now all that's left is to build a cryptographic debugging station and reconfigure the interphone using these codes, which will take about 5 years with your current skills. It looks like the steering wheel. You need to try to connect to it. Judging by the primary analysis of the destruction, most of the passengers of the liner died. This might be the biggest catastrophe in the history of astronautics, the reasons for which are yet to be clarified. Remember that you are still able to become depressed. If you're sure that this is exactly what was on the blueprint, then try to reconfigure the receiver. If you have any doubts concerning it, then you will eventually suffer an electric shock, and then your spacesuit will automatically take your body measurements to order a coffin from our company. Thank you for choosing the Global Funeral Agency. The rescuer's arrival time exceeds your estimated lifespan by 4,369 years. You need to get to the extraction point yourself, getting past the radiation. However, it's impossible to do this with your current skills. To increase your level, you need to create some crap imposed by the developers. It wasn't possible to determine the coordinates of the survivor. Communication only works on reception, which gives a good reason not to respond and not to be distracted, despite the objections of the hormonal system. Judging by the degree of decomposition, this subject died long before the catastrophe. We have a murder here, Sherlock, and we just have to ignore it. A hammer covered in blood. The victim is also stained in blood. Probably, the hammer accidentally got stained by the victim. It is unlikely that he suffocated from this, being in a spacesuit where oxygen is sufficient for an entire full breath. An unknown substance with a suspicious name. The note is written by a woman who can professionally handle stationary items. The evidence is collected. The investigation is successfully completed. It is obvious that the victim was poisoned by a Novichok chemical weapon for treason. This is confirmed by the cipher from a note that the female agent lost at the scene of the crime. Some special agency clearly had a hand in this. The electrical stimulation is complete. Having traced your brain's activity while you were working, your brain was stimulated with small electrical charges to improve your engineering skills. Judging by the result, it didn't work and caused a number of hallucinations. However, it was entertaining. You still can't get past the radiation, but I will mark the coordinates of the rescuers for useless motivation. The shuttle's plating is blue. These are the rescuers. Given that the evacuation shuttles have increased strength, the impact force must have been incredible. The rescuer spacesuits are like funerary ones, but I always wanted to learn how their flashlights work as they don't require recharging. I propose we loot the corpse for scientific purposes. A standard coffin at the Global Funeral Agency. The opening of the coffin will be considered an offense and an act of vandalism, but no one will judge you if you die. The sensors report the presence of some nearby cooling gel. Its microscopic particles can settle on the glass of the spacesuit, forming some beautiful frostwork which can lead to visibility deterioration. I understand that such an image can horrify you, but put your mind at ease. You will need to pay only half the cost of a damaged spacesuit in such a situation. The Breathedge agency is proud of its loyal attitude towards clients. What a loud headline, but the probability of the liner crashing due to a terrorist attack is 65%. The largest condom in the world, and also an emission of gas, most likely oxygen, are detected ahead. There's no data on the condom being suitable for an oxygen reservoir, but you can try to construct a simple balloon for distracting yourself from fatal thoughts. The service supply compartment, almost intact. They usually install oxygen stations here. You would be in luck if you managed to get inside. A damaged door scanner. You can scan the scanner with a scanner to record the scanner's damage data to the scanner's scanner protection system for emergency depressurization of the compartment. You will need a scanner. I used the word scanner 8 times. The gas is fed through these pipes. Toilet detected. Some of our clients are very sensitive about toilet talk, and therefore we included a dictionary filter which will replace the word feces with the word joy. Judging by the amount of joy around, this is the debris of the liner's public toilet. This means that there may be large I propose to call it Hammond, although this toilet doesn't look like a manned robot. There can be no mistake here. This is working autonomous oxygen station. You must carefully remove the station by removing 2 screws. Anyway, this doesn't matter anymore. At least now you have an understanding of how to assemble one. You have a set of its parts and a light taste of despair. Be careful with the vacuum breakdowns. An electric shock of such power can lead to the failure of my systems, and I can't guarantee the safety of your corpse before the arrival of the funeral team. Seems they were playing some brain-cracking game. Be careful. Games provoke cruelty because according to statistics, most criminals played them at least once. All criminals drink water, blinked, and used toilet paper, which makes it possible to draw an unequivocal conclusion about your criminal inclinations. A lot of various goods were transported in the cargo holds of the liner unnamed. The global funeral agency rented only a small part of the ship's space in the framework of the advertising company and has nothing to do with these goods. An automatic shuttle temperature control system. Due to the freezing of the sensors, it works at maximum power and is able to melt the cooling gel along with the helmet. The marking corresponds to the water tanks. The marking corresponds to the water tanks. The temperature control system proved to be extremely reliable and works even when the shuttle is destroyed completely. I wouldn't recommend disassembling and examining it. If this station doesn't explode, your engineering skills will be reconsidered. I recommend that you investigate the immediate vicinity in search of radiation protective equipment for flying to the evacuation zone. A cemetery of rescue shuttles. The evacuation zone is very close, but the amount of debris is far from encouraging. It is highly recommended that you not touch the glass fragments with your hands. Tiny splinters are able to pierce the thin fabric of the spacesuit and cause a slight death attack. There should have been a joke about fat people here, but it didn't fit into the screen's text field. A large accumulation of toxic colorant has been discovered. If you find a container with this substance, you may receive irreversible brain damage and also improve the anti-radiation protection of the spacesuit. It looks like a tank with paint. The shuttle was flooded with paint during the crash. Even the service center wouldn't be able to clean it from the inside. It's impossible to repair it. The paint itself also has no value after freezing. It's probably the owner of the shuttle with paint. He was engaged in illegal pumping during the crash, judging by the traces of paint on his hands and a huge hose stuck to his face. The protection level against radiation is still insufficient for the flight to the evac point. You still need to improve the equipment. Due to the high toxicity level of the renewed painting of the spacesuit, the probability of your death from radiation is now lower than the probability of death from the suit itself. In this regard, you can fly to the evacuation point. The presence of such an amount of cooling gel is strange. Such a composition was outdated more than 10 years ago and is not produced on any planet. The captain's bridge is detected ahead. The evacuation should be led from there, but there are no signals or movement detected in this area. Probably everyone died. With such an accent, the incorrect localization sounds extremely convincing. The